My name is Rachel, and I'm the mother of Hersh Goldberg-Polin, a dual American-Israeli civilian who is 23 years old. He is my eldest child and my only son. Before being stolen and kidnapped into Gaza from a music festival, Hersh's left dominant arm was blown off. And since then, we live in a parallel universe of unadulterated torment. What shall I share with you, astute governmental policy experts, security virtuosos, and learned academics, given that I am just a mother who, in the before, worked at a high school? I've been thinking a lot about what makes great thinkers push themselves to become even greater thinkers. And I found myself wandering around the Talmud, as we are all so apt to do in our spare time. Two of the Talmud's most brilliant minds were Rabbi Hillel and Rabbi Shammai. They saw the world quite differently, and their approaches and philosophies were divergent. And there is a question as to why, if they were both so equally gifted, do the vast majority of their disputes about Jewish law go in favor of the school of Hillel? It is said that Hillel was kind and he was humble, but those qualities alone do not explain his exceptionality. The Talmud explains that when Hillel would teach his students, he would always present Shammai's opinion first. And he would do so in such a compelling and respectful way that his students each time were convinced that this must surely be the way the law should be understood. Only at the end of Rabbi Hillel's explanation would he then say, with respect and honor, I actually think the following. And only then would he go on to elucidate his opinion. There was no name-calling, no shouting, and never attempts to tear down Shammai's ideas, nor Shammai as a person, as unworthy. Hillel simply disagreed, but only after truly delving deeply, teaching, and endeavoring to comprehend Shammai's approach. A wise woman named Tzippi recently said, "It is critical to understand the other side. You don't have to agree with the other side, but we must try to understand them." And I think that is what Hillel did so very well, with conviction and with deference. Another lesson from a famous duo in the Talmud teaches how valuable and imperative it is to have people in our circle who think differently than we do. If we surround ourselves only with those who think and believe exactly as we do, then we don't push ourselves to stretch, reflect, and deepen our understanding of how we perceive and grasp the world. Rabbi Yochanan and his learning partner Reish Lakish were perfect examples of this. They came from such starkly different backgrounds. Reish Lakish was a former thief and Roman gladiator before he became a learned sage, while Rabbi Yochanan was a well-known student who went on to be a wise teacher of Torah all of his life. These distinct circumstances caused their learning sessions together to be animated with feverish and dynamic dimensions and debates. When Reish Lakish died, Rabbi Yochanan fell into depression and despair from losing his learning partner. His students found an exceptionally accomplished and brilliant new study partner for Rabbi Yochanan. But every time Rabbi Yochanan would present his opinion, this new partner would agree with him saying all the reasons why he was correct. It is a dramatically described episode in the Talmud when Rabbi Yochanan finally loses his temper and angrily points out, "You don't need to tell me 24 reasons why I am right. Obviously, I think I'm right. Reish Lakish used to tell me 24 reasons why I was wrong." And then we could grapple and tease out and broaden our understanding of the topic. It is critical that we surround ourselves with others who are smart and capable, but who are not just carbon copies of ourselves and who are not simply yes people, although that can be a tempting path and a luscious ego boost. I learned a final compelling idea years ago about Albert Nobel, the notable creator of the Nobel Prize. Albert became well known as an industrialist who made a fortune developing explosives. In the year 1888, Albert had the rare and very uncomfortable experience of reading his own obituary. See, what happened was his older brother Ludwig had died suddenly of a heart attack. Back in those days, before the internet, the newspaper got it wrong. As we all know today, the news is never wrong. Back then, the obituary mistakenly described Albert as having died. And the article began by saying, quote, "Albert Nobel, the merchant of death, who became rich by finding new ways to kill more people faster than ever before, has died." Upon reading this, Albert Nobel had an epiphanal moment, and he decided that was neither the way nor the legacy by which he wanted to be remembered. He spent the remainder of his life crafting and putting in place what would become known as the Nobel Prize, which awarded and recognized people who, in the previous year, had contributed the greatest benefit to mankind. Originally, the prize was awarded in the fields of physics, chemistry, medicine, literature, and peace. We, all of us, as individuals, as a people, as a country, as a nation, and dare I say, as a species, have to decide right now how we want this story to end. And then we have to use every iota of our abilities to make it happen. I pray that the decision makers will immediately decide if they want to be remembered for all time and judged eternally based on interests, equities, and politics, or upon having the courage to do righteousness, integrity, justice, and grace. In a world that is so complicated and broken, all I yearn for is to be blessed to have my only son come home to me alive and soon. Am I a dreamer? No. My name is Rachel, and I am the mother of Hersh Goldberg-Polin.